Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to July of 2023. We're going to talk about some potential big pivots that are going to happen in your money story beginning in July, as well as the energy of some significant focus on legal matters to do with courts, maybe foreign lands and travel, as well as developing a more focused connection to your spirituality. You may also experience during this month some interesting developments and changes regarding your work, career, and work life. These are the hot spots for Sag in July. Listen for your rising sign is most accurate. Your sun and moon are also useful, but maybe secondary. If you're new to my channel, my name is Lori Lothian. I am using the Western Tropical Zodiac. I use whole sign houses, as do all astrologers on YouTube. If you're also new to my channel and haven't hit my like button or subscribed, please consider doing so. And let me tell you about the one big thing I'm doing in the month of July. Starts actually on June 21st to the end of July is my big yearly promotion. If you sign up for my Cosmic Moonshine newsletter, a weekly swig of astrology forecast news in your inbox, you are going to be eligible immediately to get the downloads for my 12 videos for all of 23 for each sign. That's 60 minutes each times 12 videos. It's called the All Signs Bundle. It's normally about $47, and now it's going to be free. So if you want that bundle for nothing, you can look at the next 6 months of your life. You can listen for your sun, your moon, your rising sign, friends and family, and enjoy the next 6 months of forecast material on me. Just subscribe to my newsletter. Unsubscribe if you don't like it. Hopefully not, but hopefully you stick around. All right, let's get rolling and talk about what your sky looks like. And if I'm talking too fast for you, hit this playback speed on slow-mo on YouTube. Number one, you as a Sag rising are going to experience, especially but sun and moon secondarily, a very gritty thing in the sky that I'm talking about for all signs. We haven't seen it since 1764. This is going to be happening because the North Node and South Node of Fate are moving into the new part of the sky where eclipses will happen in the next 2 years. That corridor into which they move is going to be the Aries-Libra axis. This Aries-Libra axis will be activated for you starting July the 18th, but as it first becomes active, it also squares Pluto at 29 Cap. Pluto is at the south bending of the nodes of Fate, and this square to Pluto at 29 Capricorn to the North Node at 29 Aries and the South Node at 29 Libra is tense. You can say mid-July, the 18th, through maybe till the end of August, you're going to feel a critical grinding turning point tension around themes of your money. These are all money houses 5, 2, and 11 that are activated. Pluto is finishing his 2008 till almost finishing up completely here in the fall of 24 journey. 2024, his journey through your second house of earnings. This has transformed, changed, and upset and overhauled a lot of the way you make money over the last 14, 15 years. And this is the last turning point. And because the nodes of fate are now engaging from 11th and 5th house, there's a call to be more creative, a call to move your earnings into a place of entrepreneurial independence, a call to move your earnings towards something that vitalizes you, that enthuses you, that you feel you want to get out of bed in the morning for. This is less about organization and hierarchical structures and more about you getting in charge of your life from the creative cauldron of the 5th house, even to the point where you may be developing the power to manifest money. It's one of the features of the 5th house can be the ability to manifest certainly money through romantic partnerships, as well as your children will be on the highlight July the 18th through to the end of August. But this is a pivot point for you. It's the last story that Pluto's trying to teach you as he moves through your second house. I have a longer video on this. It's probably out just after these videos or before. Check out that longer video, one from December and one coming out shortly to part 2 to find out more about how this shift of the nodal axis will impact you. This last shift of Pluto activating the nodes of fate. And we haven't seen this particular activation since 1764. Now, chronologically through the month, let's us begin. Number one, in the very beginning of the month, a super beautiful, auspicious cazimi of Mercury in the heart of the sun, July 1st and 2nd at 9 degrees of Cancer, opens up a divine portal, a download, an insight, or a shift, or a seed, or an inception in money. This is money that's chunky as in it's an inheritance money. It's money that belongs to you and a spouse. It's money that you can get through credit cards and banks and investments and, yeah, did I say inheritances? But Mercury in the heart of the sun is more like divine mission instructions around that money. At the same time, this divine mission instruction happens on July 1st, 2nd. At the same time, there is a trine to Saturn in your property, land, home, and real estate and homeland house, and a sextile to lucky Jupiter in their sixth house of debt relief, karmic debt, rentals, rental agreements, leases, and pets. Long story short, something good is trying to be invited into your reality through this little window of a cazimi in the sky. I'll be doing a whole webinar on this if you want to join in, because it forms a very auspicious mini grand trine in the sky, and it can be harnessed by you. At the very least, pay attention to synchronicities and symbols of what you're supposed to do financially regarding property, legacy, wealth, inheritance, pets, rentals, and maybe even things to do with debt relief, paying off a debt, refinancing a debt around July 1st and the 2nd. On July the 2nd itself, there's going to be, you can go July 2nd, 3rd, a Venus action in Leo, which happens to be your ninth house of foreign travel, visas, foreign lands, academia, book publishing, and God and churches and temples, and foreign land travel as well. Venus is up there. You know, she's up there June, July, August, September to October 9th. This is nothing new. It's a long stay, last seen in 2015 summer. She's back for her long stay here due to retrogradation. And as she's squaring Uranus from this part of your sky, she squares Uranus in the sixth house of pets, rental properties, leases, health routines, work routines. Now, if it comes down to themes that are like publishing, this can be an unexpected, surprising, and exciting development regarding the word publishing contracts. And this is July 2nd, but look to August the 9th and September 29th for the next two times the same thing happens. It's a three for deal. All right. So July 2nd, August 9th, and September 29th, give or take a few days, are one long story in three parts. Now, it can be disruptive, of course, because Uranus brings the unexpected, but Jupiter is with Uranus and Venus is a benefic. So for the most part, it's positive. Even if you don't expect something, it has a more of a positive a vibe to it. Moving through the sky in a bit by bit manner, and we move to the next piece of the story. I want to draw your attention to Mercury moving into the sign of Leo on July the 11th. Mercury moves into Leo after being in your eighth house of chunky money. That may have involved, by the way, before July 11th, contracts, agreements, arrangements, negotiations around mortgages, bank loans, financing, banking, and investments. But now Mercury has moved into Leo July 11th to the 29th, joining Venus there. Now, when Mercury moves into the ninth house, he's a patron of travelers. Ninth house is foreign travel. So some of you may be traveling then July 11th to the 29th to a foreign shore, or having some connection, communication, or discussions with someone who is a foreigner. This can also be great for book deals, negotiations, contracts, and legal outcomes favoring you that involve court matters and judges. July the 11th to the 29th. On July the 10th, Mars moves into Virgo after 6 weeks of a stay in the sign of Leo. Yes, Venus was with him for a while, but now Mars in Virgo in your 10th house is going to potentially invite you in for the 6 weeks that follow that July 10th ingress into a change around your work and career direction. You know, Mars brings cutting, ending, severings, completion sometimes, changes of direction. You may either be very passionate and very intensely focused on some kind of agenda. Athena, the goddess of knowledge, wisdom, and books is there in Virgo, the writer sign. So maybe you're finishing up some writing project, or you're really passionately driven, or maybe you're negotiating passionately some new legal agreements around your work situation. Whatever it is, it's a lot of intense energy and focus and drive and willpower in the career part of your sky and the reputation part of your sky. And there's a bit of a tension that's going to form here on July the 18th to the 22nd. I'm going to jump ahead a bit for you on this because it's angular, and that's going to be Saturn in the house of property, land, home, and real estate, and your private domestic life, where he will be until 2026, helping you shore up a new foundation for a lasting home, for example, or having an elder live with you in the home, for example. That Saturn transit through the fourth house tension is going to be in tension or opposition to what that drive, willpower, and focus is in your 10th house. So long story short, July 18th to the 22nd might be a time of having to balance some kind of inherent oppositional energy between your career drive and passion and things happening in and home, around your home, a homeland, or property and real estate stories. Let's go back a smidgen in time, shall we? Let's go back to July 7th to 10th when Mercury flows to Uranus while opposing Pluto. Mercury on July 7th to 10th opposite Pluto happens to be the last stand of Mercury Pluto. Pluto will be in your second house of earned income, resources, possessions, opposite Mercury in the house of your savings, your 401k, your other deeper and more long-lasting finances. And this is a bit of a critical tension, but there is a wedge forming or a positive outlet with Uranus. Something unexpected, definitely, but maybe something positive that Uranus wants to bring to light through the word work, job, or debt, or debt paid back to you, a debt refinancing a debt, a work opportunity helping you consolidate your finances. Things like that are coming through your sky. And surprising perhaps, but positive, especially with Jupiter bringing positive surprises with Uranus, and the North Node is there as well. And this is a July 7th to 10th, maybe I'd say Hail Mary pass financial save by some unexpected work developments or debt relief developments, July the 7th to the 10th. Now, Venus is going to retrograde this month, and she's going to do that between the 22nd of July to September 4th. So that beginning of the retrogradation is the beginning of some longer story on July 22nd of having something go backwards and like to regress direction, to do with book publishing, foreign lands, academia, religious and spiritual beliefs. And there's going to be a backtrack here. So something's going backward. Now, technically, a foreigner that you knew in the past, or you could go back to visit a place you've traveled to before to experience some pleasure, or a trip with women to a place you've been before, could be the 22nd to September 4th retrogradation of Venus in your 9th house. But it is something going back over old ground. So it's nothing brand new. A trip to a place you enjoyed, you've been to before. A trip with a woman, you've been to a place you've been before. A legal agreement having to be renewed or revisited again, but things are going to work out, I would say, with Venus being up here. I'm going to stick with that. Then I would also point, because you have Mercury up here with Venus starting on July the 11th, there's a lot of conversation, communication going on. This could be very much about visas, getting a visa, supportive of great academic success, if that matters to you, or contracts, negotiations, and agreements around book publishing, or decrees and communications around legal matters working on your behalf, July 11th to 29th. But keep in context that on the 22nd with Venus retrograde, that's where things slow down, backtrack, or get halted a bit, especially as she stations around the 22nd. So some of the best things that could occur with Mercury Venus are July 11th to the 22nd, and then things begin to sort of wobble a bit regarding the themes I just covered. Now we're going to go ahead and talk next about the end of the month, in which there's a bit of a intensity. We have July 22 to 25, some tension that resolves on July 27th. That's going to be Mercury squaring Uranus. Mercury is up with Venus in Leo at around 21 degrees, and he forms a square to Uranus at 21 degrees of Taurus. That's a 6th house, 9th house story. So there's tension between things to do with foreign lands and pets, judges and leases, tension between debts and finances and debts to do with legal matters, etc. Work and travel tension, ways that could look, but the tension is erratic, sudden, and unexpected. Because of Uranus, it's hard to predict what it is. With Jupiter there with Uranus, it's pretty bona fide. It probably will work all out, especially on the 27th of July, when then you get Venus and Mercury in the heart of the sun together, co-join each other together at 28 degrees of Leo. So the two of them coming together at 28 Leo, especially if you're a Sag rising, sun or moon, anywhere between 20 and 29 Leo, there's a golden, happy, glow up energy around any tension to do with those 9th house matters that I delineated and those 6th house matters, or the surprise that happens turns out to have a positive resolution to do with negotiations, contracts, deals, visas, papers being signed, agreements being made, negotiations being finalized in harmony and peace and goodness, July the 27th, 28th of the month. So get ready for the happy ending at the end of the month of the month of July. If you're new to my channel and you haven't subscribed, hit the like button. If you haven't heard my pitch at the beginning, Cosmic Moonshine newsletter subscription gives you access to a $47 bundle of 12 videos times 60 minutes. Has all signs, 60 minutes predictions for 2023. With 6 months of the year left, you want to grab it. This opportunity opens up on the 21st of June. It's my yearly drive to increase my subscribers to my newsletter, and it ends on August 1st. If you want to get into my newsletter and get that free bundle immediately after you subscribe, this is your chance. Otherwise, you'll have to wait till next year and get it next year for halfway through the season. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. We're going to close this one up and check out all my videos on my channel and hit that like button. Thank you.